Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about back to school. My kids are going back to school in just less than 2 weeks, so we've been doing some back to school shopping. However, back to school shopping is not exactly looking the same this year. I've been doing some research online trying to figure out what kinds of supplies I should get my kids and what kind of things that we should be thinking of about sending them back to school, considering that they still need to physically distance and do that much more in terms of keeping their hands clean and protecting themselves with the coronavirus. So I visited this really great website called Safe September, and it is a resource hub for parents who are concerned about sending their kids back to school, considering what they're going to be facing in terms of health issues. And so on this website, they have a lot of information regarding what the Ontario school boards are doing to protect our kids, all of the cleaning and sanitizing protocols, as well as a lot of great tips and resources for parents about how to prepare their kids for a return to school. So I found this really great checklist of things to buy our kids to prepare them for a safe return to school. So I've been following that and picked up a number of items. So I'm going to share with you the supplies that I picked up for my kids to prepare them for school post-quarantine. And before we get into this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first thing that I have been picking up for my kids is hand sanitizer. I've been buying these little travel size versions. So I've been putting these in their lunch bag. I'm going to remind them and teach them about, particularly after eating lunch, and then perhaps after going outside and so forth, just to kind of teach them to regularly hand sanitize in between the different activities that they may be doing throughout the day at school. Next on the list are masks. I've been finding some really great handmade masks from some local boutiques here in Ottawa. So they come in various sizes, particularly for younger kids, and of course they're in really fun different patterns that they enjoy. Some of them also have the wiring within, and they're all washable and easy to just kind of toss into the washing machine at the end of the week. My goal is to grab a number of them so that we can have an exchange throughout the week, and I'm fully expecting that my kids are going to lose some of them. So I'll be putting some labels in them as well to hope that they don't lose all of them by the time we even reach October. I'm going to be spending some time teaching my kids about the mask, and so that might be something that you guys want to do as well. For some of you, you guys already might be using masks with your kids while bringing them into stores and so forth, but for some kids, maybe it's still very new for them. So going over the best way to put on a mask hygiene, making sure that they know what to do with their mask when they're done wearing them and so forth is another great thing. So teaching your kids about putting on masks and how to wear them is a really great tip to prepare them for school. So another thing that I've been picking up for my kids to prepare them for a return to school is hand wipes, so that we can get these individual packed hand wipes and hand sanitizer wipes to help clean their hands after food and so forth. The importance of having hand wipes is, of course, hand sanitizer is great, but their hands might actually get dirty, and hand sanitizer like wipes will actually enable them to clean their hands without having to go to the washroom. A washroom in a school is going to be a high, frequently trafficked, high touch point area. So of course, if we could limit the amount of time your kid is going to the bathroom, all the better. So I'm going to be placing some of these in their lunch boxes and in their school bags so that they have them on hand. Next on my school supply list is travel size tissues. So these are the cute little tissue bags that you can pick up from different stores and enable the kids to have tissues on hand. These are just gonna help them to be able to keep their hands clean, individual, so that they don't have to go to regular tissue boxes and grab from anything that is like common use. So the whole idea of a lot of the supplies that I'm buying for my kids is that they don't have to continue to go to common used things. So typically they would grab from a tissue box, but instead if they have their own tissues, they don't have to do that. So whatever we can do to avoid sort of like interaction between kids is what's best right now. So I'm gonna be popping these into their bags. Next on my school supply list is water bottles. So reusable water bottles. We definitely do not want, again, for kids to be going to the typical fountains in their schools. I'm not even sure if the schools are even going to turn the fountains on, because they might be wanting to prevent kids from using fountains. I have no idea, but I definitely want my kids to be able to have water on hand at all times, but have their own water bottles. I particularly love stainless steel ones. I find that they keep the kids' water extremely cold. You don't have to worry about plastic and them breaking. You don't have to worry about them being BPA free, etc. So stainless steel water bottles are my absolute favorite for the kids. We've actually had some of these water bottles for a couple of years now. They last really, really long, and so again, I find they don't degrade as fast as plastic water bottles, so I highly recommend if you can grab some stainless steel ones. Next on my school supply list are all of the typical things you would buy for your kids for school. So of course, in addition to all of these health focus type items, kids of course still need school supplies so that they can do their crafts and their activities. So of course I've been picking up, some safety scissors, pencils, crayons. Of course I'm filling different pencil cases up with all the typical supplies, so pencils, erasers, crayons, etc., markers. So of course we still want all of these typical school supplies that you're going to need for your kids, but like I said, this year's just a little bit different. It's looking a little bit different because we're needing to pick up all of these health related things and not just the typical school activity supplies. All right, and last but definitely not least on my school supplies list are labels. When you have this many items that you're going to be sending to school with your kids, you definitely want to prevent them from losing it. And second of all, you also want to prevent other kids being able to interchange items with your kids, because of course, again, the whole point of school this year is that we're trying to limit the interaction with kids as much as possible, unfortunately. So having all of your kids' items labeled is going to be super, super helpful. I love using Mabel's Labels. So Mabel's Labels is this really great company where you can pick different cute little images and colors and so forth with your kids' names on it. And so my kids love getting to pick out the particular imagery or like picture that they have on there, so they sort of customize it, individualize it for themselves. We order them, and these labels come in like multiple different sizes. They also come in like bag tags, so you have tags to go on individual bags. There's tags to go inside their shoes. So it's a really great company that enables you to label everything for your kids. You want to make sure that everything from their lunch boxes, all of their snacks and so forth are labeled. I labeled their water bottles. I will label their hand sanitizer. I'm also going to be labeling their lunch boxes and their pencil cases. So everything that you're going to send with your kids this year, that much more than any more year, is it going to be super important that your kids' stuff is labeled so that everybody knows which stuff is there, so kids could try to hopefully prevent them from sharing too much stuff back and forth between each kid. All right, that's everything that I have on my school supplies list for back to school 2020. This year is a little bit crazier than normal in terms of back to school, but I'm definitely starting to feel prepared. I hope this list is helpful for you guys who are thinking about all the things that you need to send to school with your kids this year. I will definitely be putting a link down below in the comments for the Mabel's Labels and a couple of the items that you might find useful. And definitely check out Save September for lots of useful items and that particular checklist that I found really helpful for myself this year. Leave a comment below, and I hope you like and subscribe to this video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Good intro. Yeah, let's go. Okay. And so good, and I forgot what I was gonna say. I have a number of what's it called? Pencil case. Like boxes. That's a little clunky. Interesting. They are tailored for their size. Whoops. Sized. Oh my god, why can't I do this? Individual travel size tissue. Oh my god. Next on my school supply list is what's wrong? Yeah. When you have this many things that you're going to be sending to school with your kids. Did not pronounce that correctly.